What's up, you wild thorny frogs? This goes out to all the parents out there. Not the wonderful and awesome and good parents out there, but this is going out to all the shitty ones. I've had a few experiences of my own when I'm out and about, out in public, where I run into a kid, a child, and I think to myself, I can probably guess his or her parents are absolute dumbasses. How can I guess that? Oh, wait, let me see, because their parents are fucking dumbasses. They must be to be raising a kid like this. I've ran into some of the worst, rudest, dumbest, most obnoxious kids where I'm thinking to myself, how do they get away acting and behaving like this? There's been moments where I've been in Las Vegas, really nice place. You got this kid who's running, he's yelling, he knocked something off some table and he said some joke and he laughed about it. There was a few people who went after him in security, and one of the pit bosses said something to him, and you hear the kid obnoxiously yell back "Yo mama!" Finally someone gets a hold of him, then you see his parent running and coming by, and it's this whole scene. Can you keep your fucking kid on a leash? There's been moments where I've been doing my BMX flatland freestyle tricks on the beach, and I'm there with friends, some professionals. We get crowds that gather around and just kind of watch for entertainment purposes. And some parent lets their little 4-year-old go. He literally runs up into the crowd. My friend's flipping his bike around, concentrating on, what he's doing. The kid was literally an inch away from the fucking back end of the bike, swinging around and smacking him upside the head. Maybe we should have let it happen. I'm just saying, maybe we need some more natural selection. But the mom is just standing there oh, go ahead, Johnny, go ahead. I'll run up to them. They're only freestyling and going crazy, but you can run up to them. If you get hit, I want my kid to learn the hard way. He needs to make his own mistakes. That saying works for a lot of things, oh, you know what, you need to sometimes let them make their own mistakes. But that works in harmless situations, or maybe a little bit more smaller and safe situations, where it's see, be careful, you gotta... But it doesn't work when you're let my kid run out in traffic. Let him run off onto oncoming traffic. Oh, there's a marathon race coming by with bikers? I'll just sit here and let him kind of run up, If he gets trampled, he'll learn. Is that what they're thinking? There's been moments where parents are sitting there with a face expression that says, I fucking hate my life. And whilst they're there, their kid's right next to them, doing something so obnoxious and so rude, and they're bothering other adults, You try to be nice and you're okay, oh, be careful, don't do that. You're not supposed to do that. And their parents right next to them saying nothing. Excuse me, is he your son? He was tugging on my wife's dress, and he was putting his finger in that machine that's dangerous. And they'll always give you a look you're the one being rude, come on, Johnny, nobody wants us here. Stupid pricks. How dare they tell my son how to behave? He's my son. Oh, a sense of ownership, right? But that the thoughts going on in their head is, my son was a fucking mistake. My son was a fucking mistake. I shouldn't have had sex with Samantha in that Motel 6. She lied to me. She said she was an Instagram model. I conceived my child at the Motel 6. I've been disappointed ever since. My life's been going down the fucking drain. I can't even buy my weed anymore because I gotta buy him food. Parenting is hard. So it's an endless cycle. It's an endless cycle of stupid adults, and they have kids. If I was president, I would implement a system that allowed adults, before they're allowed to have children, to pass an exam. Maybe even an IQ test. Maybe even a personality test. But let's put that all together in an exam. And you must pass before you have a child. Because if we don't regulate this shit, it's gonna be an endless fucking cycle. We all know everyone's getting dumber and dumber. So it's just gonna be a spawn of idiots, inbreds, morons. And you know, when you look at these kids or when you look at these young, children, you think to yourself, I know the type of person he's gonna grow up to be. You know it, by the way they're acting right now, you know it. Because you can tell when, like, a kid's being a kid, or a kid's being immature, or maybe they do something stupid, or they want to have too much fun, That stuff you can understand. But sometimes you could really take a look at a kid and be like, okay, his parents don't give a fuck. They're not regulating anything. They're not giving him good advice. They're just being bad parents. End of fucking story. They're just being terrible parents. And the cycle's gonna continue, right? I had sex with a drug dealer. His father's now dead, and I'm kind of grieving, and my son's been nothing but a pain in my fucking ass. Sometimes, when he eats cereal too loudly, I just smack him upside his head and tell him to shut up. You guys laugh, but it's true. Like, some parents are this bad. And a lot of times, I think one of the biggest problems is that people don't think or make mistakes when they conceive a child. Like, they were insecure. Their ex-husband left them again. They made a stupid decision to sleep with some drug addict. Or a person who's just not good and not equipped to become a father. But they try to make it work after that, right? Like, they try to make it work. Oh, he's in jail for the next 8 years. Oh, he is cool. Don't be stupid. If you're not ready for a family, if you can't support a family, don't have one. It's not the most difficult thing. Are these parents sometimes too dumb to read the fucking label on a condom box? Some moms who have no purpose in their lives, who are complete failures and don't even know what they're doing themselves, bring up a child in this world as like an excuse to feel better about themselves and regain some purpose. I don't think that it should be like that. Like, everything else almost makes sense besides humans. Like, when kangaroos mate, it makes sense. When crocodiles mate, it makes sense. For many reasons, it makes sense. But for a lot of reasons, I've seen a mom or a father, kids, I've seen the whole thing, and I've thought to myself, it's sad. I feel bad for that kid. I feel bad for that kid. It's not fair to him. I don't understand what the fuck their parents are thinking. That's it. This is why you see viral all over Facebook, like, mother punches kid in the face because she couldn't get her child support money out. Father tosses daughter out of his moving truck because she forgot to call the bank. Mom leaves kid in McDonald's playpen and drives home. You know what I mean? Like, it happens. This is what this rant is going out to. That shit happens, and it's fucking insane. Fix yourself and fix your life before you try to guide someone else's.